I lost my father when I was about 19 years of age. He was a medic in law cadre of a clinical officer. But even despite being a clinical officer, he never realized he had cancer when he developed a pimple on the neck, until when it was diagnosed at stage 4. And yet he's there, taking care of people, and he did not realize he had one. And that tells you how diagnostic are right in our community health facilities. And the reason why I say I deeply feel psychologically affected and like I have had cancer, I that time thought that now that I have my mother, I have to do everything possible to make sure that she lives a very long life. Now that I have a little money, I make sure I take her for checkup every year. And one of the things we have to check up is cancer screening. And I want to tell you that 27 years after my father died, my mother developed stomachache, the local dispensary. We went to the level 4. We eventually ended up in a hospital. Gastrologist saw her for about a month, a very experienced gastrologist. But it took one radiologist who was interpreting her image of MRI and CT scan to say this is cancer stage 4, having passed through all those other medics in those areas. And it tells you that we cannot be sure. With all the diagnostic machines that we have, with all the knowledge we have a lot of work to do because they still slip through our fingers and eventually find ourselves there. And now to answer you, I meant that when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, it just took 6 months for her to go, and allow me to dwell on that just a little for fun. When my mother was diagnosed with cancer, we were told by the gastrologist, my advice to you is no need of taking her through the chemotherapy and radiotherapy because she'll still go. Why don't you allow her to live a dignified life for the few remaining days, or whatever days they'll be? Because at least when you take her through chemotherapy, the radiotherapy, her health will deteriorate. And as a family, we went back and said, yeah, we can take this route. But other members of the family said, no. Why don't we try? It is still possible. We have the resources. We can be able to do it. And when I look back today, I should have allowed my mother to just take a break from medicine and see how long she'll live. Because for 6 months, through chemotherapy, I watched my mother die without her hair. I watched her die with maybe 20 or 30% loss of weight, and many other complications that I don't have to discuss in this room. So there's also the question of when you organize a late stage. Do you treat? Do you go through chemotherapy? Or do you just allow for palliative care so that eventually nature will take its own course? So it is something we grapple with even as we talk here.